Welcome to Android App Addicts, episode number 7. Android App Addicts is a show where we talk about Android apps, but it's not just me. Today we have 3 guests on the show. They're actually co-hosts, which is like senior 2 guests, I guess you could say. And we have a lot of fun here. We each bring some apps to the table. We talk about them. We fight about them. We actually almost usually just end up agreeing with each other and saying, yeah, that's pretty awesome, except for Jim Babes. But anyway, let's get right into it here. I'm going to introduce our co-hosts. If you're watching on video, at the top of your screen, we have Lalo Nunez calling from, he's calling from Brandon, Florida. Or you're in Tampa or Brandon? He lives right down the street from me, basically. What's going on, Lalo?
What's going on? I just got my Android phone last week, so I'm pretty pumped up about it. I just got my update for the new Froyo operating system about 45 minutes ago, so
yeah, I'm
loving the phone.
You got the Droid X?
Yes.
Yeah, we're going to talk about the upgrade to Froyo on the Droid X, because I was a little wary just because I didn't know if you could root that or not. So we're going to talk about whether you should update, and we're going to talk about why you should even want to root, or what rooting will do for you, because I know you asked me that, and I couldn't give you a great answer because I can't root my phone.
Okay.
Next co-host is the door-to-door geek, Steve McLaughlin, in the center of your screen. What's up, Door?
Hello, all. Going pretty good. Just trying to recover from multi-inches of rain today.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they had to shut down schools. Exits on Route 95 got closed, so I left work early. I'm not trying to play around with that.
Oh, that much rain?
It was horrendous. From the time I woke up, when I took my 2-year-old out to the car, the umbrella, the rain drops were so big and hitting the umbrella so hard, my 2-year-old was freaked. Completely freaked.
That's a little scary. Let me tell you, in Florida, we don't have long rain, right, Lalo? It's like just these showers that come by, and you could actually see the cloud coming towards you with a little haze under it. You know it's raining. You know it's coming towards you. And then you just know it's gone. It's like it's never like the whole sky raining forever and ever. At least since I've been down here, so that's interesting to me. But I feel for you because I remember my Philly days of just long, dreary, rainy days.
Yep.
I hope they're over. Next, in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen is Tim Kelly from timscomputerfix.com. What's up, Tim?
Hey, Steve. Hello, everybody.
Tim's got a Droid, Motorola Droid.
Yep, the original.
The original. So we each, actually, I was going to say I thought we all had different phones here, but Lalo and Steve McLaughlin have the Droid X.
No. I will say, I'll talk about something that's a little less scary than what Dork just mentioned. The Froyo update on my original Droid just completely revamped my camera on the Motorola Droid. The camera when the original Droid came out, Motorola Droid came out, it was terrible. And it was terrible all the way through until the Froyo update 2.2, and that just made a world of difference. So I just had to throw that in there.
It's a change for the good.
It really made a world of difference. It really did.
To change it for the better then.
Oh, absolutely.
Well, let's talk about that real quick before we bring our apps to the table. Lalo just got a phone, Steve McLaughlin. He talked to me about it, said, he said, I got the update today, and I'm like, oh no. I'm thinking to myself, he can't root the phone. All right, why would he want to root the phone? And is there any reason not to get the Froyo update these days?
Well, I'll say you can live with the unrooted phone, and you'll be perfectly content and happy. What you gain by rooting the phone, to me, is I was following Complete Android on Twitter, and he posted a couple times the reasons to root. And a lot of them are not great reasons, but the couple I like is, one, to Wi-Fi tether on your own terms without a limit and without paying extra. Using
a third-party app.
Yeah, using like a Barnacle Wi-Fi or Android Wi-Fi, I think it's called. There's more than a couple out there, some in the App Store, some not in the App Store. The other reason I really think it's critical for some people to be able to root is to throttle the processor. So you can lower how fast the processor is going to extend your battery life. And then when you're running Flash, or if you have 2.2 and you're running Flash, then you can turn it up so Flash will perform better.
Is it like a one-touch turn, like overclocking, or is it?
I know the app I have, it is quite literally a desktop home screen widget where you just click it and then you set the maximum and minimum speed. So when I'm not using it like, full blast, I put the minimum down to 600 megahertz and the maximum at 800 megahertz. And then when I'm going buck wild, I turn it up to 1,000 or 8 gigahertz all the way.
Cool. All right, so should one root his phone?
If you want to Wi-Fi tether and you want that freedom, yes.
Okay.
To me, the other alternate reason, which some people won't get, is so you can really truly do full backups of your phone. You can back up every app, paid app, non-paid app, settings for apps, configuration for apps, with the phone being rooted, which you can't do when it is rooted. The one reason I like rooting is I can go in, rename the apps that came pre-installed on my phone, and the next time I boot my phone up, those apps will not launch, will not run, and they will not be in my app drawer.
Okay. Yeah, you got to show me how to do that.
Yeah.
I'm not going to talk about my Sprint NASCAR app again, I promise.
Right. And I can say, like, on my Droid X with 2.1, there is a simple app from unstableapps.com, which is a one-click root. It's called Easy Root, all one word. And all you do is, quite seriously, launch the app, wait a second, hit root, Bluetooth comes on, and then it says, okay, reboot your phone. And then when you reboot it, you root. And then to unroot, you go into the same app. Now it doesn't say root me, it says unroot me. You click that, reboot the phone, then you're unrooted. With 2.2, the way I saw to do it, you need a Windows computer, USB cable, and you have to do a couple commands, not many, maybe 6 commands. And then you can have root on 2.2, which means if you want to unroot it, you're going to need to go through very similar steps, but there's really no reason I can see to possibly unroot a phone. Once you have it rooted, everything should work just fine.
Okay. Yeah, I have the Evo, and some of you guys have sent me some apps that I can use to root my phone, and I haven't tried them yet. I just haven't had the time. I will try them, and I'll let you guys know for next week if any of them worked. Thank you for sending them to me. All right, Tim Sturr, what app do you have for us today?
Hey, I'm going to go real simple here. I love the TV.com app.
I've been to the website, right? And I'm like, no big deal. So I saw the app. I didn't download it. But what do you like about it?
What I like about it is it's not the type of app where you're going to get a lot of full episodes like maybe Hulu or something. But you get CBS, Showtime, CNET, CBS Sports Mobile, CBS News, GameStop. And some of the full episodes include like NCIS, if you're into that, Rules of Engagement, The Good Wife, Undercover Boss, 60 Minutes. So those are some of the full episodes that they have, plus a lot of clips. But I tell you, the one the reason why this really stands out to me is because they have full episodes of the original Star Trek, and the reason why that's important to me is because my power was out at my house, and I was sitting in the dark, and I actually watched the full episode of Star Trek, and it was the one where Captain Kirk and his crew were stuck down on this one planet where these flowers would kind of spray them in the face and like this pixie dust, and they would all get, this real happy la la la, like they were like on drugs, and they didn't have a care in the world, and the only person that could bring them out of it was, of course, Captain Kirk. But I actually watched that on my Android phone through TV.com, and so I'm recommending that to everybody, actually.
Wow.
Okay, Timster, you kind of had me at Star Trek.
Okay, yeah. Me too, man.
I didn't know. You know what? I didn't even know at TV.com on the web. On the website, you can watch TV episodes. I thought at first it wasn't. You could watch streaming video. It was just a site that talked about TV shows and gave information and stuff. I think that's when they first launched it. I don't know. Right. I guess I didn't spend enough time there. So you could go. It's like a Hulu, right? You could just go and watch full episodes.
Yeah,
didn't
it's
know.
full episodes. It may not be as robust as Hulu, but it's growing and it's getting better. And especially you, Steve, with your 4G, you would really benefit from that. You can also go through, Wi-Fi to download,
Yeah.
to stream. But
How's the quality?
excellent quality. I can't say enough about the quality.
Free app?
It's a free app, yes.
What do you got to watch? How many commercials?
There are like just really short, few commercials during a full episode. Nothing to really get too annoying.
Wow. All right. I think it's a great app.
Oh, dude.
And I got a game.
Okay.
And this game, I've got to say this. I'm just itching to say it. It's called Replica Island. It's almost like a Mario, the 2D Mario for like Nintendo, except it's for like Android. It's a great game. But I feel like I have an advantage over you guys because I have a hardware keyboard.
Right.
And I can map my keys and I don't have to put my fingers all over the screen to play this game. And so now you may have 4G, blah, blah, blah. Hey, I've got a hardware keyboard. I can map my keys. I don't have to put my fingers on my screen when I'm playing my game, so I can't see anything. So I'm definitely recommending Replica Island for Android. It's a lot of fun.
For you, it's fun for you. We'll give you that. We'll give you that.
Okay.
Oh yeah, it's pretty cool. Graphics good.
Graphics are good for 2D. Yes.
Free game, free app.
Free app. Yeah, sure.
Replica Island.
Yeah, and I will say that's one thing about the gaming that kind of gets on my nerves is the fact that I do have to put my fingers on my screen.
Yeah. That's why, but some games, it actually tailors well to it, like Pocket Racing. You don't have to actually put your finger on the track where the car's going. You just put it on the side. So they are working with it, but I agree with you. Oh boy, I wish I had a pull-out keyboard. Oh boy.
See.
All right.
Well, I got one more here.
Yeah.
This I thought was just a novelty type thing, really. It's called Remote Droid. And basically what it allows you to do is use your droid to be your mouse and keyboard on your desktop computer through your network in your home or your office. So
what's it called?
It works really well. It's called Remote Droid.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Keyboard and mouse?
Yeah, and like, yep.
How does it?
Well, I got a hardware keyboard. That does help. But no, you can use the on-screen keyboard on your phone.
Oh, so you could use it like a remote for a media center PC.
Yes, exactly.
Ooh, neat.
Yep. And now I just see a new update enables multi-touch. I'm not sure exactly how that could be implemented, but that adds a bit of interest also.
I think that's cool, but here's my problem with it. My phone goes to sleep. So if I want to use it as like a keyboard or a remote control for my TV or something, I have to wake it up every time I want to use it. It's like,
well, I think there's an option in that particular app that allows you to keep the phone awake.
Oh, okay, just for that app. If it's just for that app, that's cool. But then you drain your battery. You know what? I thought about using my phone for a remote, and I don't know. I don't think it's going to work out for me.
Well, there's two things I think could make it work. One, keeping your phone awake, or two, you can change the lock screen. I don't think you need to be rooted to where all you got to do is hit a button and it'll unlock, and you don't have to slide unlock or anything like that.
Yeah, I do. I actually have that already. I couldn't live without that.
And also, if you're in a situation where you're using your phone to be, your mouse and keyboard, I would think, you'd be in a stationary position. So, you would probably be able to have your phone, plugged up.
Yeah, I guess you could. I guess you could have it plugged up. I just created a little charging station at my house here, and so I have. Yeah. Usually things are laying in the charging station now.
Right. Yeah, and I have a home screen widget called Free Power Widget, where it has one of the icons you can put on it is the ability to stay awake. Yeah, it's called Free Power.
Nice
widget.
Cool. Neat. All right, let's swing it over to Lalo here. Lalo,
hey,
the noob.
Yes, sir.
The Android noob.
I know the Android noob. So that's why I'm being kind of quiet, because I'm just trying to observe the knowledge like a sponge here. But I got two apps. One being a speed test, and let me put the link in the forum real quick. What this does, this pretty much is like a bandwidth meter, and I like this because there are certain times where I'm in an area where, I guess out of pure curiosity, I want to see what my bandwidth is. And also this will also do your Wi-Fi, so you can actually test out how strong your a Wi-Fi signal is.
Okay, good. It's not like speedtest.net. It's an actual speed test app.
Yeah, and then it also does your upload and your download too. So I did it a couple of times today in my home, and I got 2.2 going down, and I got 1.2 going up.
Wow, that's not bad. It's not bad. Not bad for 3G.
Wow. There it is.
I just had to. I'm going to test this, but hey, let me tell you something about my 4G real quick.
Yeah.
Last couple days, my phone battery has just been draining, and I thought it was my app that I had brought for this week, or I thought it was an app I loaded recently. So I uninstalled all these apps, and I just tore apart my whole UI for my phone, trying to figure out which app was causing this. And even in the system settings, where it tells you what your battery's doing, my battery would never say like, "Yo, it's this app that's draining it." So I had no idea what it was, and it didn't seem like it was an app. And I go to Best Buy today, and I bring it up to the cell phone area. And I'm like, I'm looking to buy a battery. I think my battery's just a little flaky, and it keeps draining. And it just started happening. She's like, "Do you use your 4G?" I go, "Yeah." And she's like, "Try turning it off when you're not using it." I turned it off when I'm not using it, and it solved the problem. That was the problem.
Wow.
I was so content getting 4G here in Tampa
that kind of sucks.
I just kept it on. I know. But hey, I mean, I got a widget to turn it on real quick. But
yeah,
I was used to having it off and turning it on when I needed it, and then I said, screw it. I got 4G all over the place.
So you don't have an option like to throttle down to like 3G?
Yeah, when I turn 4G off, it goes to 3G.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's not so bad.
Yeah, no, it's not bad. But the 4G apparently, when it's not in range or when it's close, it's always pinging out and trying to find a signal. And I could not figure it out for the life of me. You know what I thought it was? And this was a scary thing that happened. I'm sitting at a bar, and I get a drink of water, and the glass had condensation on it, so I drink the glass, a drip of water drips, and it bounces on my phone, not on the screen, not on the side. It goes right into the USB connector where I was actually
sweet.
Where I was actually tethered to my netbook. And I'm like, no! I'm like, anywhere else it could have went. And so I ripped the USB cable out and everything. And I blew all the water driplets out. Everything seemed fine. The phone actually did I think it did make a connection because the screen turned on after that happened. Everything seemed fine, but then it seemed like after that's when I started experiencing my battery loss. So I thought I fried my phone. So I'm actually relieved that I didn't. It's the 4G. So the 4G is a mixed blessing. You turn it on when you need it, but it's not good to have on all the time.
Well, yeah, everything comes with a yin and the yang,
Yeah. Lala, you got anything else to say about that speed test app, or you want to do your other one?
No, and I just installed it. Like today, I plan on, when I'm at work, when I'm at a friend's house, just out of curiosity to see how fast it is, or how fast or slow the bandwidth is in certain locations and whatnot. So.
Cool. Yeah, I'm gonna download that one.
Yeah, and then as far as your battery story goes, with the Froyo update, once I rebooted, it told me has a new feature on my phone now where it will actually turn off the data after between 10 p.m. and 5 a.m. to conserve battery life.
That's a good one.
So and then I can modify that, I guess, but I just seen the alert about 10 minutes before the show, but I think that's pretty neat. If your phone is plugged in through a charger, it states that it will not turn off the data, but if you have it unplugged at that point, it'll shut that data off to conserve your battery. Sweet.
That's really slick.
Yes,
I always try to have my phone plugged in when I go to bed, but it never quite works out, so that's something I need. What is that, an app? What's the name of that app?
No, in fact, it was built into the operating system.
It's in Froyo.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah.
Sweet. Cool.
The other app I have is called Touchdown, that was recommended by a friend. It has nothing to do with the football, unfortunately, but what the app does, it allows you to communicate with your exchange server. So this will fit corporate environment. But what it does, it syncs up with ActiveSync. So not only do I have access to my calendar, my global address list, all my contacts, all my email. For a person like me that's on the road a good portion of the time, I don't miss an email. I don't miss a scheduled task off my calendar. So it's pretty neat. I mean, it's almost flawless. It is a paid app, but it's $20, and I don't really pay for anything. But this thing was so good that I actually paid for it.
Yeah, I mean, if you're using it for work and you can't miss those messages, something like that's totally worth it.
Yes, and I mean, because there were some other apps out there in the market, but unfortunately, it missed certain features, or it wasn't the package. But I installed this off a recommendation. There's a free version out there. I think it's a trial, but unfortunately, every time you send an email, it leaves a signature on the email with the manufacturer name, which of course we can't have that in a corporate environment. But with the paid version, it still leaves that signature on, but you can remove it, which I did. So, but awesome app. I recommend it if anyone out there is in a exchange environment.
Right, and I'll just say, don't forget, every paid app you install from the market, you have 48 hours to test and use. Your account technically doesn't get really charged. You can you can take it off your phone within 48 hours and you will get refunded your money. So there's really almost no harm in downloading and trying something.
Lalo, does it drain your battery? Is it always trying to grab your emails and stuff, or do you set it for a certain amount of time?
I can't say I've seen a decrease in battery, because I've had the app installed for about 3 or 4 days now, and I can't say I've seen a decrease in my battery.
Cool. Touchdown. Very cool. All right. Dora, what do you got for us this week? Or wait, Lalo, do you have anything else, or was that it?
I got some other stuff, but that's toward the news portion.
All right, sounds good. Dora?
Okay, yeah, I want to thank Lalo for bringing the business sense back to this, because I'm never going to install business stuff on mine.
Business?
But
What's business?
Well, exchange stuff, because that's what
being sarcastic.
Yeah, I don't need it. In fact, they would have to hold me down to put that on my phone. But I digress.
Hey, it's still a great app, Door.
Oh, I know. It just ain't going to be on my phone. The app I have is not only an app. I'll say that first off. It's a piece of hardware. It's a cross-platform piece of desktop software, and it's a smartphone app. And that is a Pogo Plug.
Ooh. Tell us about it.
I bought off of Woot.com for $19, $4 shipping, a Seagate free agent Dockstar, which is a little bit larger than like a old school cell phone stand-up charger, just a touch bigger. Has 3 USB ports, power port, Ethernet port, and then a cradle with a micro USB port on it. To get a drive for that cradle part, it cost $80. Door to door ain't having that. I plug the device up. I stick a 16 gig thumb drive into one of the USB ports. Now I have on all my computers, Linux, Mac, and Windows it runs on, I have a desktop folder just like Dropbox that always keeps in sync with that device. So for, $20, and then a thumb drive that I paid, I think, $20 for. So for $40, I have 16 gigs of accessible data. I still have 2 more USB ports that I can plug anything I want up into and get even more storage. And on the Android device, and I believe BlackBerry and iPhone, you can stream audio and video to those devices. And I gotta say, the videos I tested, I could not tell the difference in quality from having it local on my phone versus streaming.
Wow.
That's impressive.
Yeah, now the only flaw with the Android app that I could see is I did not see a way to allow me to upload a file to it. Which, to be honest, I'll put up with just because I have 16 gigs of data. I have alternate means to where I can get files back and forth. So I'm going to put up with that for right now. Seagate Free Agent DocStar technically also can be hacked. If you put a Linux bootable thumb drive formatted correctly in the right USB slot and then power up the device, it will boot to that operating system and not the operating system on it. So
Nice.
That's geeky.
Well, I know, but here's the thing. Even without hacking it, I'm very satisfied with it. Through the official web interface on their servers, I can turn on Windows file sharing on the device.
Yeah.
I can grant access rights to the device, so I can say, well, my kid has access to a 2 gig thumb drive, but not my 16 gig. And I have my 16 gig where I can access everything.
Is it a dock I actually have a Free Agent drive. And does it fit like one of those small Free Agent drives into it? Is that what the dock is for?
Yeah, can you see it?
Yeah, I wish I could just put my drive right in your screen there, but it won't work. Yeah, I think I see it. That's the one. That's the one. Yeah, so I could plug my hard drive in and USB drives. How many USB ports does it have?
3, 2 in the back, 1 on the side.
And an Ethernet port?
And an Ethernet port.
Damn.
And the thing that confused me was you turn it on, you plug it in, the light blinks, and then nothing happens. And I thought, well, let me find out. I'm being too geeky. Well, let me go into my router, see what IP it got. Let me try to access, and I couldn't access it at all. And I was like, oh my, what happened? What happened? Finally, let me just, let me look at the book. Let me read a manual for a change. Read the manual. It says, go to this website. You go to the website. It automatically detects via JavaScript on your browser, even in Linux. Oh, there's your device. Do you want to register your device? You click yes, and then it opens up an interface to all of the settings for the device.
Dude, do you know how many people probably returned it because of that?
Oh, I know.
That's probably why Woot got such a good deal on them.
Yeah, because it was only I think $19, and now if you look, you still can find them for around $25.
Sweet.
And to me, it makes Dropbox look like such a bad deal.
Because there's not enough space. You don't get enough free space.
Well, because you gotta basically pimp out yourself to get space. And we all know storage is dirt cheap. So for them to limit you to 2 gigs to me is kind of upsetting.
Yeah.
But I will say it's a great service, almost fairly priced, a little bit too expensive for what you get. But with this, yes, it's your device. You still rely on the DocStar website to manage that device.
And it's a pretty slick web interface. It's good enough.
It's a very clean, easy to understand Web 2.0 interface. Where right on the side, you have the folders, the media, and the drives. On the top, you have log out, set. Most simple websites I've ever seen to comprehend.
So you can put that on so it's on your phone obviously, and then that can be installed on any other computer. And also, is there a paid version for that?
You buy the device. It comes with a lifetime service to Pogo plug for free. With a lot of other devices, you have to pay like $12 a year.
I gotcha.
But with the Seagate products, it's free for life.
Sweet.
Is there a limitation on what the size of the USB device? Like, can you stick a half terabyte drive or?
I know a guy on the forum said it is running Linux. So the only size limitation to each USB plug, I believe he said, was 4 terabytes.
Oh my gosh. That's amazing. You just have like an FTP server hook it up to this little thing.
Yeah, and I do believe it did have more advanced settings. I think it allowed you could turn on SSH and FTP to it.
Last question. Can you upload files using the web interface? You said maybe you can't with the Android app, but you can with the web interface?
Yeah, you can with the web interface, and you can with the desktop Dropbox-like folder.
Sweet. Sweetness. Yeah, I was looking at Pogo plugs. Every one I see is pink, though, so I haven't gotten any. I haven't bought any. But, yeah, it seemed like a cool device. Easy network internet storage.
Yeah, I mean, that's what it really is. It's like your personal NAS with no hassles,
Yeah. Cool. Was that your app, or do you got some more for us?
I did have one more, but in hindsight, I think I actually mentioned this one before. And there is a spreadsheet that I'm going to try to keep updated and somehow have available, maybe via the forums or something, with all of the apps that we've ever named, which is a big list. But okay, I didn't say it before, so the other app I'm going to say is it's called Battle Flood 3.
Battle Flood 3?
Free, Free. And what this is reminiscent of an old late 1980s, early 1990s game where it used to be called Virus or in Affection, because you would start at one corner and you had colors to pick from, and if you picked the color of a cube sitting next to you, you would then take control of that cube. So you would spread like a virus out and out and out. Battle Flood, you have to go against a computer and with different difficulty levels. So you're at one bottom corner, they're at the other top corner, and you basically have to see who can overtake more than 50% of the screen faster.
Oh, that's cool. I don't remember you talking about this.
I didn't. So
okay.
I got lucky. Very simple app, nothing, no high def graphics. I actually downloaded a car racing game that took 89 megabytes.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no high def graphics. Will run on any phone, because I've had more than a couple friends at work with older phones, older than Timster's phones, and they hate some of these games that will not run. I showed him that game, and he was able to download, install, and to run very easily, he said.
Sweet.
Certainly colorful.
It's really
well,
cool.
yeah, that's the whole thing.
And I had downloaded and installed the game, and within 5 seconds, I was just confused and scared.
On that what, Battle Flood?
Yes. Because I will tell you, it's just an unknown fact. I am colorblind, so it just threw me off. I said, I have no idea.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that might be a tough one for you to play.
I can see where that would
It's
be.
just pure colors. It actually looks like one of those programs you get to unstick dead pixels from your screen.
Right.
That's neat, though. Hey, I'm it's all about the gameplay, I say. So.
Yeah, the games. Me and Knucklehead Tech did everything we could for as long as possible to stay away from all the games. And the same guy that told me the steps to root my phone when it goes to 2.2 was the same guy that got me hooked on my first game, and I still curse him to this day because I just can't stop now.
Yeah, once you get rolling with the games, I go on a little roll with games, but I'm not a huge gamer on my phone. It used to be a bathroom activity for my phone, but now I spend my bathroom time trying to figure out what apps I want to talk about on this show. So that took the place of my games.
Yeah, and I'll say, by its sheer nature, you're never going to have a game with the sophistication of like Call of Duty, Modern Warfare.
Yeah, don't lower the expectations.
Right, and if you lower them, I think you could be pretty satisfied with what you get, like that pocket.
Yeah, it's exactly what I was thinking of. Exactly what I was thinking of.
Very simplistic, and how you touch the screen, like you were hinting at before, you're always touching on the grass. You're never touching the street.
Right.
So you always see the street. That was a very smart thing they did when they made that game.
It's all about the gameplay. All right. My turn, Dor, or you still got more?
I'm done for apps.
Okay. Since I moved, I always got to tell a little story before I do my apps. Since I moved here down to Tampa, I've had I moved into a new place. I'm trying to set up all kinds of stuff, and I just have all these tasks I need to do. I'm overwhelmed. I'm not good at keeping track of things, so I'm trying to remember each day. I don't keep a book of things. I don't write things down. I don't make lists. So I'm all right, there's got to be a good app to allow me to remember things and get things done and do tasks. So I think I heard Leo talk about it or something, but there's a website called Remember the Milk. Did you guys ever hear of Remember the Milk? Mm-hmm. And there's an Android app for Remember the Milk, and I saw that in the market. So I downloaded that. I joined the website, and that's the app I actually thought was killing my battery, and so it was so sad because after I downloaded that and used it, I saw my battery die, and I'm like, oh man, I love this app, but it's killing my battery, so I uninstalled it. But I just reinstalled it, and it's awesome. It's a great program that allows you to. It's got a little picture of a cow as the icon, and it allows you to create tasks and lists, and it keeps track of what days you say you want to get them done, or even if you don't even have to specify a day, you could say you do just throw things into this. That's what I love about this is you just throw things into it. When I remember something that I need to do, I just immediately type it into whatever device I have, either my computer or my phone or whatever I have that has internet access, and it all syncs together. So let's look at one of my things. Like today, I remembered. Let's see. I need to make DVD inserts for laptop repair videos on DVD. So I just typed it into my phone. It's synced up, and then it didn't even ask me what day it needs to get done or what time. See, a lot of these task managers, they always want too much information up front. I don't have it sometimes. I just remembered something and I want to put it into my phone. That's all I want to do. So this is great for that. And then you just go back later and what I do is I put everything I remember into the phone. Then when I have a free time or I'm sitting in the bathroom or wherever I am, I sit down with my phone, I look at the list, and then I just start picking when I want to do each one of these tasks, like which day I want to get it done. And it's so easy. It's like 2 clicks. You just click it and you say, okay, I want this tomorrow. And you don't even have to type like the exact date. You know, you could just, if today's the Thursday, I could just say in the phone, tomorrow I want this done. Or I could say Friday I want this done. Or I could say, is there 31 days in September? Or, well, so what's tomorrow?
But the first.
Okay, so I could just say October 1st. It will know. So you could just tell it. You don't have to tell it exact date, time. You just say tomorrow or October 1st or Friday, and it'll actually put it in the right spot. So
it's like a loose calendar. I mean,
yeah.
So if regular calendar apps, you have to specify a day when you enter the info.
Yes.
Yeah.
This is something like a notepad where you can enter in everything at one time. Then you can go back and sort through it, and you can even speak the days that you want things done, and it'll recognize it.
Yes.
Wow.
And actually, when I say speak, I don't know. I didn't mean voice. I meant like you could type, but it might be able to recognize speech. But I mean, you could type either Friday or tomorrow.
I mean,
or
if you could
October 1st.
type, I mean. Yeah, there's the microphone button. So
Yeah.
Yeah, good point. You're right.
Well, here's a question, Steve. Did you have to pay for the app?
No, it's a free app.
Okay, because I had it installed. I just uninstalled it. I'm going to try to run it again. I got a pop-up message that said I was unable to continue using this. The trial has expired.
Oh.
Click here.
Steve. Same here. And when I installed it, I got a message that it was for 30 days or whatnot. And then after that, we'll have to get the pro version.
Oh.
Sorry, Dor, for cutting you off.
No,
that's
okay.
okay.
Well, that makes sense. See, once I realized I was going to use this for a long time, I bought the pro version. So I didn't pay for the app. I went on Remember the Milk and I paid for their service on the website.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay.
So I don't get that message.
How much?
Was it
Let me check.
$20?
$20?
I think it was like $20. Yeah. But this was a website before Android was even a thought. I mean, I remember hearing about this a while back. So the website has some history. So it's not like a fly-by-night affair. And I always wanted to use it, and I never just did. And now I really needed it, and it's fitting what I need to do. Like you said, Tim, with the calendar, you could tell it what day you want to actually get it done. But you could also add different things to your tasks at different times. Like, say I throw all my stuff into a big list, and then I sit down, I go through my list. I could assign priorities at that point. I could also assign whether it repeats, and a bunch of other things you can actually do to edit.
That's
edit
cool.
Your task. Yeah.
Yeah, see, this is something I really need.
Yeah.
And it's actually $25 for 1 year.
Okay, 25.
Oh, for a year. Hey.
Yeah. I mean, I really needed it. So I bought it. I'm really happy with it, especially now that I know it's not draining my battery. So that's my app for this week. Check it out. Remember the Milk. It's great for just when your mind just starts getting flooded up with things you need to do. You just dump them all onto your phone or dump them all onto your computer, and then you sort it out with this. And it's just I find I'm getting a lot of things done with this. So I'm happy with that.
Yes, And also, I'll add that it will also send an email to whatever email address that you specify too.
Yeah, and it tells you what you need to get done that day.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah, and I'll say to me the best apps are apps that seamlessly move any information from computer to phone and back again.
Yes, exactly. I love the syncing. Got to have the sync.
Yeah.
All right, let me talk about this one thing before we go into Android news. I was in Kmart today, and I see some guys talking in the chat room about this. Last time I was in Kmart, I saw the Augen 7-inch Gen Touch tablet. I see Highlander in there. Dor, you told me also. He bought it. It sucked. He returned it. So I said, okay, I'm not getting that. But I'm like, what else do they have in there? So I go in there. They have the Augen netbook. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
It's a netbook that runs Android. It's $100.
Yeah.
Like, if somebody was standing on a corner and said, hey, man, I got an Android netbook here, $100, I'd be like, dude, forget it. What's wrong with this thing? But I'm like, okay, it's too cheap. It's just too cheap. So I'm like, all right, well, Kmart is selling it. How bad can it suck? And I immediately looked on. I tried to Google Shopper, first of all, the UPC code on the side.
Right.
But I couldn't get through the glass to get it. And then, so I just typed it up, and I read an Engadget article, and they're like, well, it's really, really slow. And they're like, and it really, really doesn't do this good. And they say, it shows website's pretty good, and if you want to watch video, forget it. And it's like, it just doesn't do so much that I was like, even for $99, I probably would be getting rid of this thing in a week. And I don't know if, I don't think these Augen devices are Google approved, so you can't even go into the Google Android marketplace. Is that true for the netbook as well, or just the tablet?
Augen as a company does not have a license agreement to distribute Android. So you have to get third-party market apps so you can get anything on the phone.
Or just hack it, right? There's got to be a hack.
There is, and I'm sure it's going to be well publicized. But the one thing I know I heard on the IRC channel was if you use the default browser, the web is almost usable because it displays the mobile version of the websites and not the full version.
On the netbook even?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Go ahead, Tim Strike. I can't see it. What was it? Was that the Augen?
No, it wasn't.
So yeah, I decided it's so hard. You see an Android netbook sitting in a case for $99. It's so hard not to buy it.
Yeah.
But I guess I made the right decision.
Well, just be a patient man. If you feel like throwing money away, the Samsung Galaxy Tab is coming out. There's no doubt in my mind before or around Christmas time, there'll be at least 3 to 4 really good choices on tablets that you'll be able to make.
We'll see. I don't know if I would even buy one. Well, the good ones are obviously going to cost more than these Augen pieces of junk. So yeah. I don't know if I would dish out for that. Like you said, throw money away. We'll see if I have a use for it.
Well, yeah, and I'll also say, you think that's cheap? There's company that swears out of India in the next 60 days they're going to have a $35 tablet. To which people are saying, man, that could be perfect. You could have one in each room, and if you step on one, who cares? Go buy a new one.
Yeah, that could be perfect. I picture these devices just tearing my hair out. I just picture tearing my hair out when I use them.
Are you ready for this? With the $35 one, the guy said, look, it's perfect. I could multitask just by buying 2 of them because they're so slow. I can do one on this one, and then when I'm waiting, I can do something on the other one.
Yeah, that's good. At least the whole array of things are coming out. We'll see what rises to the top.
It's still less than the cost of a laptop.
Yes. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, I do believe more than $200, pushing $300 are going to be the acceptable ones.
Yeah, I agree. All right, Lala, you want to hit us with your news?
Yeah, I ran across an article, and let me put it up in the chat room here. But the title of it is "The Droid X is valued less than the Iris and the Incredible in Verizon's trade-in program." Apparently, with Verizon, what they're doing is they're offering a trade-in program where you can trade in your old phone and get a certain dollar amount value toward a new phone. And for some reason, my PC's acting up, but the Droid is valued at $52. The Droid 2 is valued at $72. The Droid X is valued as $124 on the trade-in, and the Iris and the Incredible are valued at $124 sorry, 152 and 134.
Why? Because they're one of them's HTC. Is the Iris HTC?
I'm not sure, and I
think it
wish
is.
that.
Why is that?
I don't know. In fact, I'm gonna copy and paste the article now because it's kind of brief. It's not that detailed.
I guess bigger isn't always better.
Well, honestly, it wouldn't shock me because I think all those other ones have hardware keyboards, and the Droid X
Oh, is
doesn't
that
have
what it
hardware
is?
keyboard. I don't know. I'm guessing, man.
No, I don't think the Incredible has a hardware keyboard. Don't think.
I thought it did.
It would be incredible if it did.
Yeah,
I
'cause
don't
I
know.
can't, and I can't seem to understand why is that where all this hype with the Android X and all the and development put into it, why it would be the cheaper than the two phones I'm trading. I don't know.
I don't know. It's not like those other phones are dogs. They still run
No,
Froyo.
of course not. Yeah.
I don't know. You know,
I think you're right.
it's like ultra mobile PCs. I mean, usually the smaller the laptop, the more expensive it was. It used to be that way before netbooks came out. So maybe it's tougher to squeeze all that Android goodness into such a small phone. I don't know. Good question. Why don't you call Verizon and ask them? I'm sure they'll give you a real good answer.
Yeah.
Really quick, too.
All right. Any other Android news, guys?
I did have some other news, but I do not remember most of them except for BBC released an article saying they tested, I want to say it was something like 50 apps, and half of 30 applications studied shared information with advertisers. So I don't want to say that's an invasion of privacy, but it appears like some app developers are making money from digging for information on your phone and selling it back.
Some of the app developers? Does it specify who?
I looked at it really quick, and
Jim Babes?
I wouldn't shock me.
See, here we go. This is the start of it right here.
It all comes back to Jim Babes.
I don't remember them naming apps specifically.
Yeah.
But they do have related stories where I believe they did mention. They did mention Taint Droid, Taint Droid, which I don't want to know what that is.
Taint Droid. Okay.
Yeah, I don't know. So I'll just say, make sure you're installing apps with a name you either recognize or be comfortable with what permissions it's asking for. Some apps ask for permission for the phone because they want to be able to send high scores via text message to your friend. They can sometimes kind of justify it. There's no doubt in my mind when it comes to Honeycomb, they're going to allow you to individually select to block access from a certain part of your system to an app because people are kind of blowing up about how some apps, why does it need this? Why does it need that kind of access thing? So I think they're going to tighten down.
Okay. You ever think, do you think the Android store will ever be as strict as Apple as far as rules and regulations?
If they do, it's just going to make the underground market that much bigger, which I'm pretty sure next week, both of my apps you cannot get on the Android market.
Well, that's a good point. It's definitely the ones that are on the market what I would be most concerned about. But it's just a matter of time.
Well, it's a double-edged sword. It matters who's delivering the app. It could be a more trustworthy app because they're not sharing anything with Google about themselves.
Right.
Or it could be they don't want to deal with Google, so their app is more under the radar. Or, it's 6 of one, half dozen of than another. Just be careful about what you install on your phone.
Who's watching the Android market, Dor? Who's watching it?
People.
Individuals
are.
The community, right? The Android community.
Yeah, and I'll say I did get a tweet today from, I believe, Info Lookup, how to reverse engineer Android apps. And there are people actively out there reverse engineering Android apps to figure out what is going on in the background of those apps. So There is a community out there looking at it. I hate to say this because I'm going to sound biased, but that's part of the plus with Android being on the Linux platform, is you have Linux users who are typically more concerned about privacy looking at this. It's not all of those people, but there is definitely people who are involved in Linux who said, this seems cool, let me look closer.
Well, that's really a great thing in my opinion, because those will be the first people that'll throw flags when they realize something's wrong.
Right, and those are the people that will scream. Unfortunately, probably none of them are on Twitter. They're all on Identica or something else. But they'll at least scream and somebody will hear them and get the word out quicker. And the one double-edged sword again about Google is they have the ability to go into everybody's phone and destroy an app on the phone. So technically, they could take the easy route off of my phone, taking away my ability to root and unroot the phone. They don't. But if a malicious piece of software comes out, I guarantee you they will quickly jump on it and kill it on everybody's phone.
Lop it off at the head.
Right,
and then the Linux users will do.
Yeah.
And especially with these phones, and they're fun, they're cool in every aspect, and they're apps that can like Steve was saying, they're task-based, but at the end of the day, I wonder about the security of these phones, because you do have your contacts, you do have your login and credentials for like Facebook, and I mean, this phone here is pretty much a store of all my personal information. If that phone were to get a compromise,
right,
it's very a scary thought.
Here's the only plus is, just like the iPhone, all the apps by default are sandboxed to a degree. So it is kind of difficult for an app to reach outside of their sandbox into another app. That's why you see the warnings about connecting to the network, connecting to system tools, connecting to phone information or contacts, because it is so heavily a sandbox. So look at the stuff the app says it's accessing and ask yourself, are you comfortable with that? If this is a true business phone, this phone is helping you make money and it has sensitive information about your business, maybe you should think twice about playing hog wild.
That brings up the question then, Steve and Lalo, is your phone locked? Do you lock your phone?
No.
Yes.
I do. Steve?
Yes.
You mean lock it so, like, if I leave it on a bench, somebody can't get into it?
Exactly.
No way. I'm not going to type that code every time I want to use my phone. Forget it.
Man, the slide. You got to slide lock.
Slide? No, I don't even slide.
No.
I all automated.
Crazy.
You hit that button, you're in.
No, here's why, Timster. I can take your phone
information on my phone, dude.
Dude, I can take your phone, crack it open, plug it to a port, and I can get that information off. Trust me.
You could.
Here's an easier way to keep it safe. Don't lose it.
Well,
don't lose it.
I always say monitor. Credit cards are one thing you can feel safer about getting out, because by law you can easily dispute them and not lose your money. Bank
People have access immediately to your Google email immediately if you don't have your phone locked.
Well, there are remote, and that's going to be one of my apps, I think, for next week. Remote monitoring and kill and wipe apps for the phone. So if you think your phone is missing, you can remotely lock it with a code that, with a number code kind of thing, and remotely wipe the phone.
Okay, well, you got a point there. Then I think everybody should, if they don't have their phone locked, to at least have that installed on their phone.
Yeah, I'll install that. Bring that next week. Bring that next week, Dor.
Okay, well, I gotta find it because I know I saw it, but I don't understand.
Yeah, and I also wonder, not that I have tested this, I wonder if once I connect my phone to the wireless a network, it obtains a private IP address, and I wonder if I can see the phone through IP scans, if it what exactly I can or can't do.
Yeah, I can tell you with those kind of apps, it's like Skype on your computer. You don't need to open up ports in your firewall because it's calling out.
Right.
You can do the same kind of thing with the Android phone, and if you leave your GPS on, you can remotely know where it was last, quote unquote, seen in public.
Cool. All right, guys, you want to wrap it up? let's wrap it up here. Oh, before we go, I always check to see if anybody wrote us emails. If you want to email us, just send us an email at mail@podnutz.com. We will read it on the show if I remember to tag it. The only thing I have tagged for this week is a voicemail from Tim.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it looks like it's from Tim, and because I'm reading the Google Voice transcription, and it substituted the word ass every time you said app. So it looks like a big, long message about ass. Anyway, what were you trying to say in this message?
No, I just wanted to make a correction on an app that I talked about. I think it was the last show. I forget what episode it was. It was called App Categories, and I said and stated that the app would automatically categorize all of your apps on your phone once downloaded. And what it turns out to be is it will automatically categorize the apps that are originally on your phone, the native apps. And what I did is go through the folders of that app and see a few of these that were categorized, and I automatically assumed that it did that with all of my apps. But of course, I don't have as many apps as Door Geek has, so I wasn't as enthused about it. But at any rate, I had to correct myself.
Gotcha. According to Google, it automatically categorized all of your ass.
All of my ass. Okay. Well, that's good to know. That's a great app. And Door, did you ever find an app? Not an ass. An app that does that automatically?
I didn't know, but Highlander, literally at one time when I was at work, I mentioned it, and Highlander sat there for like 15 minutes pounding through the market saying, well, how about this one? And I would click it, install it, test it, no. Click it, install it, test it, no. But we did find one that does a moderately good job, because nothing's perfect, because everybody has their own beliefs. Like, this should be a tool, not a system kind of thing. Auto App Organizer, all one word, will set up default groups for all your things, and you access it via the notification window. Is the easiest thing. You just pull down the notifications and it's right there, and it has default categories of newbie apps, keep me apps, system apps, internet tools, multimedia, games, and fun. And it did a pretty good job of auto sorting them. Maybe 1 out of 4 or 5 I have to move. With 170 apps, that's not close to as bad as having to sort them all.
Nice.
Very cool. Answers your question.
Yep.
All right. Well, we got to wrap it up, guys. We got to do another show after this. So, like I said, if you want to send us an email, you can do that, mail@podnutz.com. If you want to send us a voicemail, call 7076-PODNUT. That's the new voicemail number for all the Podnuts shows. So if you want to leave a message for Podnuts Daily, call that new number. Don't call the old one. It makes it a lot easier to do recording. So that's pretty much it for this week for Android App Addicts. Thanks, everybody, for listening and watching and joining us and chatting. And thank you guys for being on the call. Yes,
Thank
Door.
you, Steve.
Yes, Door. Door. Well, Door wanted to say something, but it looks like we lost him.
We lost him.
Are you there, Door?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay, what's up?
I have 8 days left on my Verizon cycle. 8.6 gigabytes of data.
Oh.
Is there a limit?
No.
Huh?
Here, now that we have video, I'll actually show you usage details, loading data. Oh, I'm sorry. 9.2.
The abuser of the network, Door Geek.
Oh,
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
Thank you, Door.
Yeah,
thank you for making us all have to suffer.
Hey, somebody has to
crazy.
Somebody has to fulfill the
God.
I'll be that guy.
All right, cool. All right, we'll see everybody next time. Thanks again.
All right.